I would say definitely my hitting. I was definitely more of a slapper over at Utah and then kind of worked in with my hitting last year. But being with JT, it's been a complete game changer, just learning like how your body moves and things like that. But yeah, I would definitely say my hitting, being able to swing the bat a little bit harder. So that's been adjustment. Yeah.
How's that adjustment been for you? And how far along do you feel like you've come hitting-wise since you got here?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a great change, and I feel like there's definitely more to improve on, but from just beginning of fall to now, I can feel a big difference in just my power and like the whip of my bat. But I feel like there's going to be so much more to improve. So I'm really excited to see where spring takes me, but yeah, I'm really excited for that.
What's it been like this fall competing against Oklahoma's pitching?
Yeah, definitely different. I would say just going from a Pac-12 school to now we're in the SEC and being able to play against OU pitchers, it's been different in a sense of competitiveness. Just being able to see how the pitchers compete against the hitters, like they're in every at-bat. They're not willing to give up a pitch. And so just being able to compete against them has been really fun, and just being able to attack every pitch. But, yeah.
With all the newcomers coming in, what's it been like accepting, embracing the legacy of Oklahoma softball, with what they've been able to do? A lot of people are going to expect you guys to continue that legacy. It's kind of a heavy role.
Yeah, I would definitely say coming in, trying to get a 5P is an amazing thing to be able to accomplish, but also realizing that the entire team, most of us, is going to be our first. So it's kind of understanding like we are new, but being able to talk to all these past players, like having Tiare as one of our grad assistants, has just been a game changer. Like being able to hear from these people that have played and succeeded in this game has really helped us, and being able to like grow our mental game. But yeah, we kind of understand like who we are as a team, and being able to take away the pressure, but also living in the pressure. I think that's going to help us a lot.
You mentioned coming from a Pac-12 school. Just what was that process like of entering the portal? When did Patty, the coaching staff, reach out to you? Just was it a crazy process? Was it what you expected? Just what was that like?
I would definitely say it was crazy. From high school, at least, it was COVID, so we didn't really have that many schools you weren't allowed to go visit. And so entering the portal and being able to go to schools was a very different scenario than what it was in high school. I was super stoked and excited when Coach Gasso reached out to me, just because it was always a dream for me to play here. Since I was 10, we were playing on the field out here, and we were just always at Reeves playing in tournaments, and it was just every 10-year-old girl dreamed to go to OU. And so when I got that call, it was definitely just like all the emotions running through. Definitely a little scary when she called me to come on a visit. I was like, me? Are you sure you're on the right phone call? But just coming here, as soon as I got here, I knew this was a place for me. Just the coaching staff, like that's who I wanted to play for, and that's why I entered the portal. And so I think just being able to find where I was meant to be was really exciting.
What was your relationship like with DJ there your freshman year, and how is he similar or different from JT and his mom?
Yeah, I loved DJ. He was basically the main reason I went to Utah, so it was kind of a little hurtful when he left. I was like, oh, man. But he was a game changer for me, at least with the hitting-wise, which is why I love being with JT so much, because a lot of the things that DJ did teach us was from JT. So it was nice being able to come here and learn from, like, the person he learned from. But yeah, once he left and he went to Arkansas, I was kind of like, oh, like, let's see where I can go. And then, but coming here and being able to basically be coached by his mom, like, I'm like, dang, I can see where the competitive drive comes from and everything like that. But yeah, he's the same. He does everything the same like them. He's competitive. He wants you to work hard, but you can definitely see who you learned it from. Yeah.
Your commitment post on social media, you showed when you were younger and you lived it. So, just think about the time where softball was at that time compared, like, come to Love's Field now.
Yeah. I think it's great that women's sports has changed so much to where we're able to have this field and facility. I mean, I loved it at 10 years old going over to Merida and being able to be in that locker room. But, I mean, this place, it's insane. And I hope that one day every single facility can look like this. It's just crazy that at 10, I thought that was, like, insane. I'm like, that's still insane to me, honestly. Like, if I was playing at Merida, it'd be the same as playing at Love's. Like, it's just a dream come true. But being able to have this facility and being able to work with the girls that I'm able to work with here, 10-year-old me would be kind of going crazy right now, but yeah.
What were some of those things that Coach Gasso and her staff were talking about with you when you were 10 years old, like to work on pretty much to get to the point you're at now?
Definitely just our mental state. I mean, they were like, just have fun. We were in Merida. I remember when I was 10, I have pictures of me inside our little, like, meeting room, like their meeting room in Merida. And JT was up there talking to us about hitting, and I'm like, I'm 10. I don't know how to hit the ball. Like, I'm little now, but, like, imagine me at 10. And so but they were mostly, it was just about your mental, like, keep loving the game. If you become a softball player that loves to play softball, it's different than loving to, like, be on the softball field. So it's like, make sure that you're willing to give all the sacrifice to just loving the game and being able to, like, teach younger players than just playing the game because of, like, you're going to college. So it's like, I feel like a big thing for me was, like, just the mental part and being able to learn from her, someone who's coached for the last 30 years, just how important it is to love the game.
You mentioned Tiara earlier. Just how has she helped you with your transition here?
So, a little backstory. I played with Tiara since my freshman year of high school, and so I've known her since I was 10. And when I first got my phone call from Coach, the first person I called was Tiara. I was like, Tiara, like, how is it? You need to be honest with me. Like, I know it's great over there. But she was a big role. So was Alyssa Burrito and me coming here. They were just my idols from when I was a freshman. They were playing on my team. And then being able to see them grow and progress the game just by being here was really helpful for me just to, like, get their insight on how OU softball is. And they had nothing but good things to say. And it's true. There's nothing but good things to say about this program. So, I mean, they definitely had a big role.
Talk a little bit about that, Matt Buster's linkage to Oklahoma softball.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great players come out of different organizations, but, I mean, Tiara Jennings, Alyssa Burrito, those players, they came from Bad Busters, and I got to play with them. And so just being able to, like, see where these great players are coming from, I feel like that's, like, a big part of, like, where you're going. And just being able to understand, like, who you're playing with and who you know. But, yeah, I mean, it was just great to always see OU at our games, and that was, like, a big thing, to be able to be on a travel ball team that was good enough to have these good college coaches be at. And so I think playing on a good, like, organization really helped me get where I am. But
when you were at Utah, what was it like competing against Oklahoma? What was it like being in the dugout, watching them and how they handled things, how they did things? What was it like competing against OU?
yeah, we played against them my freshman year, and I just remember I was like, guns to the wall, like, we're going. Like, you just want to play your A game against them because they were so good, and it was like, how do I play my best and beat them? And it was just like, it brought out a different emotion and player in every single girl that was on the field that day. And I think that's what OU softball has brought to the softball program in general, just like softball all over, that they have brought a different competitiveness. And just being able to see the game grow in that kind of aspect, playing against them, it was like, you got Riley Boone and Jada Coleman, they're screaming. And, like, after that day, I was like, okay, that's how I want to be. Like, I want to have that energy. I want to bring my team with that kind of just emotion. They would get on base, and they were, like, screaming at their dugout. And it wasn't, like, against the other team. Like, they were excited for their team. They were excited that they got on base. And I was like, that's the emotion I want to have. And so I think they just grew the game in that type of way where it's like everyone wanted to be like them and not more of, like, a – yeah, it was competitive, and that was great, but it was like they showed what a good role would be, like what you want to be like.
Now that the roles are reversed, you're going to get those same emotions from opposing teams. How willing are you to accept that and know you're going to get everyone's best shot whenever you get the field?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to have my best. The team's going to have their best, and we're going to give our all, but I'm really excited to see how teams compete against us, and I'm ready to destroy. But yeah, I love competitiveness. I love competing. I am competitive at heart. So I'm excited to see. I want everyone's A game. I don't want anyone to give me a 50%. Like, I want to see everyone's 100, 110%. So.
Obviously, Utah got pretty good. Why did you enter the transfer portal?
Yeah, my freshman year we went to the World Series. It was really exciting, one of my dreams. But I just wanted more. I wanted to be able to be with girls that wanted to compete, wanted that drive that I had. And, I mean, when I went in the portal, like I said, DJ was one of the main reasons I went to Utah. And so when he left, it was kind of a little bit late my freshman year when we found out. And so the portal was closing. So my sophomore year, I was like, let's give it a try. And we went. but we barely ended up making postseason, and that's not something I wanted. I wanted to be able to know, like, I'm competing, and we're going to make postseason, we're going to play, and we're going to get to the World Series. That was always a goal of mine. So just being able to see myself in a post-game type scenario, I knew that I was going to have to enter the portal.
You talk about softball, loving softball versus loving being a softball player, things like that. Where did that love of the game come from you, or how did it develop?
I feel like it's always been there. My family has always been a competitive family, and my brothers played baseball. I played softball, but it was always who's going to be the best. It had nothing to do with what sport we were playing, what thing. It was always like, oh, we're drawing? Well, who's not going to draw outside the lines? That kind of thing. And so I feel like love for softball just came for love of competing. Just my family and that kind of atmosphere. I have to all of it to my parents. They were always like, you want to play your best no matter what you're doing. If you're running, you're going to be the fastest runner. If you're, like I said, drawing, you're going to be the best drawer. Like, it was just like that. And so I think just softball in general, when I started playing, I wanted to be better at my brother than at baseball, but I knew softball was for girls, so I was like, that's fine, I'll be better at softball than you. But, yeah, I think the love of it just came from competition. And I definitely found all my friends in softball just because they had the competitive mindset. So that's where my love came from.
This program offensively for a good bit has been known for power, but Coach Gasso loves to get in her car and get you guys run on the big field. What are those conversations like in the port as far as how aggressive she can be with you and some of the other pieces being a bit more speedy this go around?
Yeah, I think a big thing for me when I entered the portal was just about understanding that I'm also a slapper. And she was happy to hear that. She was like, I need to get slappers back in this lineup, and that was something very ecstatic for me to hear, just because I love hitting. You know, everyone loves to hit their home runs and stuff like that, but I love slapping. I love messing with the defense. I love getting errors more than I like getting base hits because it just messes with the defense, and then they're not ready for the next pitch. But, yeah, I think that was a big thing for her and me, just understanding that this team has a lot more speed and that we can run the bases. We got speed. We're going first to third on bunts, and I think that's something that's really exciting for her as well as the whole team, of just understanding that we can use the cards a little bit more, and just like hit and runs, bunt and runs, like those kind of things. And I feel like the home runs will come. The home runs are going to be there. They're still going to be there. But I think kind of catching teams off guard and being able to do those type of things is definitely going to be a game changer for us this year.
You mentioned some former Batlisters teammates. What's it been like to reunite with
Ilana, oh, she's great. I love her, sweetest girl in the world, but a competitor on the field. I've played with her since 10U. She would fly out from Hawaii every weekend. It was crazy. I was like, every weekend? I live an hour away and you're flying? But I love her. She's my roommate now. I love spending time with her. I mean, we both played in Utah, so we were able to see each other a couple times, but just being able to play on the same team as her, it's been insane. I love playing with her. She just brings a different level of competitiveness. I love being able to be with her at practice and just kind of learn from her. We're both lefties, both slappers, and being able to just learn from another person that I've known for so long has been amazing. BYU-Utah rivalry. We actually only played in my freshman year. Oh, no, we played in my sophomore year, too. But obviously we beat them both times, obviously. But it's actually not as bad as it used to be just because we weren't in the same conference. But now that we are, I mean, they are. But, yeah, it was pretty – every time we played them, full stands, everything. But, yeah.
How helpful is you have some newcomers, but you guys have a lot of connections prior to just like it's not you're walking into a locker room with strangers to get everybody kind of rolled together throughout the fall.
Yeah, I think it was really good. Over summer, we were able to talk to a lot of them. I never knew Sid Barker, never knew Audrey Lowry, but being able to talk to them over summer, saw them at some camps, I was able to click with them really well. And I also think something that Coach does very well is knowing how the team's going to mesh. She doesn't get people that she knows is going to kind of destroy the team. Like, she gets people that have similar personalities, and that shows because all of us are getting along great. And I think something that really stood out to me, I met Sid Barker after my first week of committing, and fell in love with her. I love her. She was like, I was like, this is me. This is literally my person. Like, we're literally same cup, like 2 pods from thing. And I was just like, you can tell like the people she goes for. And yeah, I think just being in fall, understanding like who we are and kind of understanding how we play the same and how we don't, and being able to make people's strengths their strengths, and making other people's weaknesses maybe someone else's strength. And yeah, I think that we play very well together, and I think that us being able to be together all the time, 24/7, has also helped. But yeah, being able to come to this facility all the time has really helped.
And you start to wrap up one more.
You talked about your competitive nature and kind of wanting more. How alluring, in addition to everything you talked about, the brand of Oklahoma, was the opportunity to play in the SEC, what that softball conference is?
Yeah, I think the SEC, everyone says that they're the best conference, but I always just wanted to be able to go somewhere with a good coaching staff. Didn't matter what program or what conference they were in, and I think I kind of always knew I wanted to play for Coach Gasso, just from when I was younger. She was always competitive, and kind of like I played for Baptisters and I played for Michael Stith, and he was the same as her. Like she's like, yeah, I'm literally the same, but she's not. She's more competitive for sure. But I kind of knew that I wanted to be around competitive people, and I knew that was here, obviously with the 4-peat, but just being able to see the difference in how they play on the field was definitely something that stood out to me.
The fall was a lot of progression, knowing that we're just such a new team. There's been a lot of learning each other, learning new ways of the game, especially being a freshman from where I'm coming from. Just completely different, but I love it. We've been pushed really, really hard this fall, and upperclassmen have been amazing, helping us out, kind of showing us the ropes, but we've been pushed really hard, and I think that's really good for our team. But personally, I'm just really grateful to have like a lot of the upperclassmen that have been showing us how we do things at Oklahoma, and yeah, just all of us freshmen have been really grateful for them, so it's been a big progression fall.
Sydney, what was your recruiting process like, and what was it like getting that scholarship offer from Coach Gasso?
My recruiting process was amazing, honestly. Obviously, I was looking at a few schools, but I was really, really grateful to get that call on September 1st, the jitters, the nervousness, but it was great. I had been in contact with her from a few camps that I had done previously, and after I came out and took my visit, I just knew that this was the place for me. I didn't even go on any other visits. I just knew that this was it for me. So
Did you get the midnight call?
I did, yeah, 12:01.
What are your impressions of Coach Gasso through the recruiting process, and how's that matched up with through the fall and how now that you're working with her, all that stuff every day?
My impression from her with the recruiting process, she's very real. She's very straight up. So I kind of knew everything that I was getting myself into being here, which I'm really grateful for. I come from an organization with really like headstrong coaches, no excuses, just working really hard. And I feel like that's exactly how Coach Gasso is here. It was really no difference than what I thought she was and what she really is when I got here, and which is really great to have a coach like that, knowing that at a lot of other programs it's a lot different. So coming here knowing that she's going to push us till our wits end is honestly the best feeling as a player.
You mentioned taking that visit and that kind of being when you knew you wanted to be here. What stood out just about that visit that kind of made the difference?
Yeah, so when I came on my visit, I actually was with Hannah Core, Tiare Jennings, and Jordy Ball, so it was probably the 3 best girls I could have had when I came on my visit here, but they were really welcoming. They told me the truth about everything. Like, they didn't sugarcoat anything. This is going to be really hard. This is going to change you as a girl to a woman, and that really intrigued me because knowing I was going to come here and not only make a change of how I play on the field, but how I am as a person off the field, it was a big turn on for me to come here.
How much has it helped that there are 8 freshmen that you're sort of all going through this at the same time?
Yeah, we are grateful to have all 8 of us together because everything is very new, and to have like 1 or 2 or even 3 or 4, I think it would be a little bit more difficult. But knowing that we're kind of all in this together and that we are like a big part of the team, knowing we all have to step up and kind of sharing the role of we're young, but we need to get it rolling and kind of take after the other girls and get to know the culture so we can have a great spring season.
You talked about having Tiare on your visit. What's it been like seeing her as coach this fall and maybe learning something from her along the way?
Yeah, I love Tiare. Having her on my visit, watching her, and then now being coached by her, it's such a blessing because I really do look up to her in a lot of ways, not only on the field, defensively, but offensively as well. Before I got here, just kind of studied her swing a lot, And she's just a great player, but again, a really great person. So having her on my visit and then being able to come here and get the same reciprocation from her, it's been really nice.
What the rest of the coaching staff, what's it been like learning from Coach JT and Paul now that you've been here and have a fall with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the best of the best. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but that's what I love about Oklahoma softball is they're going to push us no matter what. They know what we're capable of, and they know that they chose us for a reason. And to know that you have a coaching staff that's really involved in your success and knowing that you can always do better, it's been really nice. It's been really nice, yeah.
So you come in with a lot of players, and it's kind of, I imagine, even though you've been on great teams, how eye-opening has it been, the talent that's here and the talent you're running into, and how good all you girls are?
Yeah, I think all of us, freshmen, upperclassmen, we kind of all come from a place where we are the better players on our travel team. And so to come on a team where the talent is just all around there, it pushes you. It pushes you as a teammate. It pushes you as a person, and you just always want to get better. Looking to your left and right, knowing that everyone is bought in and you're all in this together, it's a really good feeling knowing that you're not the only one giving it your all or trying your best every single day.
You talked about the coaches. I want to ask you about JT specifically. What's it been like getting acclimated to his process for coaching hitting? How different has that been from what you've experienced before, and just what stands out to you about his approach?
Yeah, his knowledge with hitting, the science of it, I didn't know that you could ever break down hitting with as much science as JT has involved, but it's really interesting. It's really cool. His game plan strategies are always super helpful. He is just really involved in every single way. Like, he sets up our film and our game plans, and when we come in each day, he has something different for each and every single one of us to better our swings, and it's always try this, try that. So it's really nice to have someone that wants you to try something different to get to that goal instead of just kind of, lingering and wondering what I should be doing. So it's really nice, yeah.
What have you been working on with your swing and tweaking there?
As a whole, we've really just been working on hitting the ball hard. There's of course a lot of different things that we all work on individually. If I broke it down, we'd be here for 30 minutes. But just him super involved with our blast that we do on our bats, all the science, we see all of our videos. So I think the incorporation of all aspects has been really cool with JT.
You guys are entering the program, all the newcomers that's won 4 straight titles. How do you embrace those expectations that this program has built with all the success it's had over the years?
Yeah, I mean, this program has just had great success in their history, of course, but we have to know that this is a new chapter, and we're just gonna give our best this season and use some different strategies than the teams have used previously, but we're really confident knowing that pressure is on us. I mean, pressure is a privilege, so it's really nice to come into a program knowing that has been the history, but knowing that we can write our own chapter.
I also wanted to ask you about the history of this program in terms of Californians coming to Oklahoma. You see how many Californians come here and have success. What's it like for you being from California, coming to Oklahoma and seeing some of the great players that have made that trek to Oklahoma and being part of that?
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's a lot different than California for sure, but girls like Corey, Abby, Bella, we're all from California. I think that's really cool because I didn't really expect that, honestly, coming here to see a lot of girls from California. And then especially after I signed, we got those transfers and everything. So I think it's awesome. I mean, taking that talent from California and kind of bringing it over here, I think it's great. But there's great talent everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, there's girls from everywhere here, and it's just awesome. So.
What's it been like being around Ella and Cassie and watching their process, and what have you learned from them through your time here?
You said Ella and Cassidy?
Yes.
We're really grateful for our sophomore class because they were involved in such a great team last year. They've been really helpful. Ella and Cassidy, Nellie, Maya, they help us a lot. In the cages, I always have questions for them. I'm always asking questions to Cassidy about my swing, or I'm always asking questions to Nellie about my fielding, and they're just always willing to help, always willing to give advice. And so it's really nice having people so close in age willing to give you those adjustments and that knowledge.
You mentioned it's kind of a new chapter. with so many new players, you talked about the freshman class, but there's also a lot of transfers too. Just how important was the fall in terms of you guys getting even further acclimated, figuring out how to play with each other, just that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we took it very seriously this fall, which was something that we needed, being so new, learning how each of us play, our playing styles, communication. But it was a really important fall for us, and I think everyone realized how seriously we were all taking it. We had like a lot of team discussions about how bought in everybody was, and to be on a team already in the fall when the spring season hasn't even started, to know that we all have each other's backs already, it was a really good fall.
How much did you feel that urgency maybe from the coaching staff? Just in, fall is usually kind of a warm up before the spring, but because there's so many players, did you feel that urgency from the coaching staff in particular?
Yes, we felt urgency from the coaching staff, but there was also urgency amongst all of us girls. We really want to make sure that we have the best spring season possible. There's no days off, no excuses. We hit it hard, and every girl is very blunt with each other on this team, and that's something that is awesome about this team. Is we have discussions as a team, we're all real with each other, and we all kind of say how it is. So it's really nice to know all the girls beside you are going to tell you the truth and what you need to be working on, and vice versa.
For the past year, when we talked to Coach Gasso about this team, she's been really, really excited talking about being able to get to coach a lot more since she does have so many veterans. Not that she's different, but from the returners, have they noticed anything more intense, like just more involved from Coach Gasso as she's kind of made that turn of having a ton of newcomers to coach this spring?
I think Coach Gasso is definitely excited being able to teach a little bit more with the team that we have. As a returner aspect, obviously I don't have much knowledge about that, but I think not only is Coach Gasso teaching a lot, but so are the upperclassmen, because I think there's only 8 returners that we've had this season, and they've kind of all just stepped up and taken their role. So I think she's excited about all of that, being able to coach and seeing other girls on the team also help out as well.
Any more questions for Sydney? All right, thank you, Sydney.
Sydney,
Thank you.
I know your brother and sister play.
Yes.
And your dad, of course, was a great player, and he played for my Red Sox a little bit, so I'm glad about that. So did you just always know you were going to be a ball player? I mean, was that just something you were going to do? I mean, did your mom play too?
Yes, my mom played softball at the University of Hawaii, and so it was kind of just always in my blood, but definitely not something that they thought was for me. Like, growing up, I was definitely more, like, into, like, the girly things, like dresses and, like, playing dress up, and my grandma always tells me, she was like, oh, Ilona, like, I never thought you would make it this far in softball. So, and I'm just like, Grandma, but it's just amazing. Like, it's just amazing having that family, or having my family really, and just be able to push each other. And like, that's our family time, is when we bond with each other, is when we're all working out together. We have my mom, we have my dad hitting us ground balls, and then me and my brother at short fielding, my sister at first catching us, and then she goes to the outfield, and she throws the bases to us. Like, it's a whole family thing.
So what was your pull process like? First time you were talking with Coach Gasso, and your journey to get here?
Yeah, so at the end of our season at Campbell, I wasn't 100% sure that I was even going to transfer. It was a thought in my head, and it was something that I really just leaned on God for, and I prayed, and I was like, God, just tell me what I'm supposed to do. I'm very based on everything happens for a reason, and that God was going to give me a sign. And when I got the sign that I needed, I knew it was time. And then JT actually reached out to me first and asked if he could set up a call with him and the other coaches. And then I think a few hours later, Coach Gasso called me. We had a pretty lengthy, really amazing conversation. And then the next morning, Coach Rocha called me. We got on the phone talking about like what bullpens were like and things like that. Me just trying to get more information. And then we set up a visit, and then here I am.
You guys are just what stood out as far as just the entire Oklahoma kind of experience?
I think just how family oriented it is. I'm a huge family person, and family is everything to me. Especially being like 20 hours from home, I definitely wanted to be in a place where it still felt like family. And so that was really big for me. And I mean, it just felt like this was where God wanted me to be, and God wanted me to spend my last year. So it was pretty clear.
Bella, was it hard to not be able to go through fall ball? I know you went through the practice,
Mhm.
but did you feel like you missed out not being able to do the fall ball?
I wouldn't say necessarily I missed out. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, so I was just trying to trust the process the entire fall. I was able to scrimmage the team in practices and things like that, so I'm still going up against one of the best or the best offense in the nation, and it's preparing me for spring. So, yeah, I've still had great opportunities.
Can you talk a little bit, same question about the transfer portal process, what it was like when Oklahoma reached out, how they reached out? And then I want to ask you also a second part. You see how transfer portal pitchers have been used here and how Oklahoma relies on them. How much did that play a part in your decision to come here?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my story is actually really similar to Bella's. You know, it was, I relied on God a lot. You know, the portal had closed and then it reopened due to coaching changes at my previous school. So I felt like that was a really big sign to me that it was God pushing me to get out there and explore where I could be. So a lot went into just like how Bella said, just talking to the coaches and finding out more about the school. And then when it comes to the transfer pitchers, I think that just gave it kind of a new opportunity. It's like I have the opportunity to play. I'm going to work for that opportunity because nothing is given in this sport, especially at this school. So it just pushed me to want it more.
Coach Ocha, you've seen how she works with pitchers. What's it been like learning under her in the limited time you've been here so far?
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. She speaks with so much confidence that as a pitcher, it gives me so much more confidence going out there. So I think working with her is amazing for mentally and just physically and learning the game and learning new aspects of it.
I want to go back to something you said earlier. Talked about growing up being sort of girly and maybe not. A lot of people didn't anticipate this path for you.
Mhm.
When did you decide, or how did you come to decide that softball was for you?
It was actually a funny story. Going into my 8th grade year, after my 7th grade summer of playing softball, I actually wanted to quit. And I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I don't think this is for me. Like, I want to quit softball. And he said no. So I was like, well, if I'm stuck, I might as well continue to work hard. And it was just, the reason why I wanted to quit is I just felt discouraged. I mean, I was always the smallest, the tiniest. Like, I just felt really discouraged, but it just proves that, like, just continue to work hard and really trust yourself. And when you have a good support system, like, you can do anything you put your mind to.
When did it flip for you? That you were good with it.
I would say 8th grade. Yeah, I really started, like, working hard. I had a coach. I played travel ball under a coach who believed in me. And when she believed in me, that's when I really started believing in myself.
What's it been like just since you got here, like working with Coach JT, and what about his approach to hitting is, I guess, kind of what have you learned from that and talking to him?
I've learned so much from being here, especially like, hitting-wise. Like, coming from a program like BYU, we talked hitting, but when you come to a program like Oklahoma, you really talk hitting here. Like, and I guess you really understand, I understand hitting a lot more than I did the whole, like, ever playing college softball. And really, I think he has helped me a lot with my mental game, especially, which plays a huge role.
Kind of similar lines, they talked about the transfer portal process. What was it like for you, but then also specifically, what were maybe some of the discussions that the coaching staff had with you in terms of where you could help in, what your role could be once you got here?
Yeah, so I actually entered the portal the very last day that it closed, and it was a really, it was a scary process, but then, like they said, like, I just trusted God, and I really felt like God, like, this was a plan for me, and transferring was the best for me. So Coach Gasso reached out to me, and once I started getting on the phone with her and talking to her more, I was able to really, like, build a relationship with her, and I came on my visit, and the rest was history.
Lana, what was it like last year for you at BYU playing in Norman, and what was it about Coach Gasso's recruiting pitch that sold you to Oklahoma?
I would say that playing here was amazing, just because I loved, even though, like, the fans weren't cheering for me and, like, they're against me, it was just so amazing playing in an environment where they love softball, where everyone was so into the game. I mean, at my old school, we barely had anyone coming to the game, so playing in front of like a sold out stands, like it was so amazing. And I would say what really sold me was definitely I like her mindset in competing and just constantly competing. Like you don't have to be perfect, but if you compete, then I like that mindset.
Isabella, I'm curious, you threw a lot of innings where you came from, but I know even Sam and you guys are always throwing, and you guys probably throw a lot of innings. But in some ways, was it okay not to pitch as much this fall so you could come back stronger, or does that matter in softball because you guys throw so much?
Yeah, I think, especially with how amazing our staff is here, no one here needs to throw every inning or a lot of innings or carry a majority of the innings. I think especially with this being Sam's senior year and this being my 5th year, we're getting up there in age, so I think definitely having an entire staff that is capable and trustworthy is really going to help us, especially go farther in postseason, because it helps the longevity of our bodies being rested and our bodies not being completely worn out trying to get through conference, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would definitely say I agree. I think the deeper your staff is, the farther you can go, the more you can rely on them, because it's when it comes to a game, you don't, like, no team can just say, like, oh, she's going to start this game. Like, you don't know who's going to start because we have a whole roster of pitchers. So I think in the long run, it's going to be really good. I liked the amount of innings I got this fall. I thought it was a fair amount. I thought it was a good amount, and I liked how it was pretty much even amongst all the pitchers. So.
These guys hear it all the time. I coach my daughter's youth softball team, so these guys all know about it. They hear my story all the time. I noticed in your bio that you coach youth softball.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about just giving back to the game and giving back to the kids.
Yeah. So I have twin little sisters. They are 13, and they are in the game. And so when it comes to them and teams that they've been on, I've loved to be a part of that and help coach where I can. You know, coaching your own sisters is kind of the hardest thing because they say you don't know what you're talking about. But coaching other friends has been amazing. So, but no, I love it. I've also given pitching lessons for quite a few years now. So that's really fun. And just being able to be somebody that's a part of that and helping the game grow and then giving back the knowledge that you've learned over the years is amazing, because there's so many things that I've learned recently that if I would have known when I was 12, 13, just the amount of like growth that I would have had from that.
This question's for all three. I was going to ask your teammates also. You guys enter a program that's won 4 straight national championships. The bar's set really high. How do you guys embrace the expectations of this program when you step into a new program? And that question's for all three of you.
At least for me, I don't really think of the past too much. Yes, they're amazing and they always been known for having a strong program, but I think that she recruited all of us and she knows obviously what she's doing, so I think it's always good just to really not think and compare yourself to others and really just be your own person, because that's what got all of us here. So I think really just not looking too much at the past and like embracing how we are as people and softball players and playing the game like we know, and with their amazing coaching, like I think that we have a really great team this year and will continue to be great.
I agree with Ilana. I think it's going to be like a different look at what the Sooner team normally is, but I think it's going to be really good and that we're going to find a way to try to continue this legacy that Oklahoma has had. But like Ilana said, like not comparing to what the past has been. You know, we're a brand new team and just playing how we play.
I mean, I think they've said it best, and I don't really know if there's much to add, but I think it's important to, like Ilana said, trust that Coach Gasser recruited all of us here for a reason, and if she didn't think we were capable, then we wouldn't be here. So I think remembering that and staying within yourself and staying true to the player that has gotten you here is the best way to success. Obviously, being a sponge with the amazing coaching staff and the amazing players around you, and letting the competition at practice sharpen your skills, and just staying within yourself and trusting that we're here for a reason. So as long as we work hard, we'll accomplish what we're working towards.
Sam, going back to the staff, when you look back and see the Champ Series clinching game, Coach Rocha throws out a whole staff game. What does that mean that it's not just yes, we'll use the staff, and then as soon as you get into a big spot, it's one arm. It's like, no, in the biggest moment, you're going to throw everybody as a pitcher.
I think looking back, even just watching that game, it was exciting. It was something that I think, honestly, I don't think it has ever been done before that they've used that many pitchers in one game. So it was exciting to see that there were multiple different arsenals in their bag, and it was just exciting to see the way that they used it and the way that Coach Rocha had trust in every single one of her pitchers in the roster.
You played a lot of second base in the fall. You played mostly short. So does that matter to you, or do you just play anywhere?
No, that does not matter to me. As long as I'm on the field and competing, couldn't be happier.
Is that a big adjustment to go to second?
Not really. I think especially playing as like a shortstop, like being a shortstop, you can kind of play anywhere really. So I just have that mindset, and you can put me anywhere. You can put me behind the plate, like I'll compete. So
Have you fought before?
no.
All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I guess for all three of you guys, before we start, just what's the fall been like? Actually, just getting to campus and getting settled in, getting adjusted to the team.
It's been great. I mean, everyone's amazing. I love this team. I love the opportunity I've been given to be here, and I guess they could say the same thing because it's just like nothing I've ever experienced. So I've learned so much in such a short amount of time, and I'm just excited to see what the team does next. So.
Yeah, it's just a great environment. I mean, even the first day we moved in, we had sophomores and juniors come to our dorm and just help us out move in. So from the start, it's just been a great experience, and especially playing this fall, all the support, even when you had a bad game or a good game, everyone was supporting you.
Yeah, everyone here is very welcoming. Everyone here is very welcoming. It's definitely a family aspect, like Audrey said. Like, we moved in and everyone was at the dorm welcoming us. They're offering to take us to go get our IDs if we needed help and everything, or to take us places, because some of us are 13 hours away from home and don't really know the area very well. And they're just kind of there helping guide us along and helping us figure out the ropes and everything to make sure everything kind of clicks right and that we're fitting in and doing the best we can here.
Audrey, what did you learn about yourself throughout the fall going against this lineup?
I mean, it's definitely probably the most competitive lineup you can face in the fall. So it was definitely challenging, but I learned a lot, like mentally, how to approach the game here at such a high level, and I learned so much competitively facing this lineup, and it's just been a great learning experience.
Audrey, kind of along those same lines, what's it been like working with Coach Rocha throughout the fall?
It's
the biggest thing maybe you've learned from her?
Yeah, it's awesome. She's probably one of the best pitching coaches in the game, and it's just really great to learn from her. And just mechanically, I've learned a lot more, especially on certain pitches, and I just love working with her.
Corey, you were banged up a little bit in the fall, so we didn't see you at the beginning of it. Did you get out of the fall what you hoped to get out of it?
Yes, the experience of just playing with such an amazing lineup and being able to fit in where I fit in and just get time back there so I can see what it's like playing and moving at such a high level. So as much as I didn't play as much as like I could have, it was still a great experience.
Audrey, you've been around such a baseball and softball family. What's it been like growing up around relatives, family, immediate family that played baseball and softball in their lives?
It was definitely influential, and I've just learned a lot how to approach the game, and especially watching baseball, softball games. It's just been extremely helpful to especially come here at such a great step.
Riley, I'm curious. You grew up, your sister's signing Wednesday. So I'm sure you guys always had each other that you need somebody to pitch, you could hit, right? I mean, how much that benefits you to have a sibling that's right there with you?
It's definitely a blessing. At the start, our careers were very bumpy because we didn't really know what role we were going to play with the game. But now, if I need to work on catching or if she needs to work on pitching, we just go, hey, we need to go. And we go do that, and it's always nice because you always have somebody to train with you and to help push you and to help guide you, and honestly sometimes give you that brutal, honest opinion that some of us don't want to hear. But she's a blessing in disguise. She's really helped push me to be the best player I can be.
Ryan, same question I just asked Audrey. I got the players mixed up.
It's very interesting. Everyone in my family has played baseball or softball at some point in their life, so we all know what's going on. Thanksgivings are always very interesting. We don't always talk about the turkey. We typically talk about softball. But yeah, everyone kind of knows their thing, and it's just, again, helping push myself to be the best player and just keeping me in it and always wanting to know more and always able to learn more.
For all of you guys, which is being sort of what was the biggest adjustment practice games when you stepped on the field in the fall?
Honestly, it was not having my sister by my side. The past 15 plus years I played the game, she's been here, and kind of getting used to just kind of being on my own and figuring things out and getting through rough patches on my own and everything. So just kind of that adjustment, but also the intensity. We're here, and you're just pushing yourself a lot harder than you ever have before, and you're pushing yourself beyond the limits that you didn't think you had before.
I would say the biggest challenge that I've had just adjusting is the balance between school and softball, because in high school it's not as balanced. It's more school rather than softball, but just getting used to your kind of groove, your schedule, and just figuring out what's best for you and how you approach practice and school.
Yeah, I would definitely say for me, it's just the level that you have to be thinking at all times. As you guys know, Coach's expectations are very, very high, so she never lowers them for anybody, and I really appreciate that because I feel like it makes everyone just the best they can be every single day and just makes it such a competitive environment. So definitely just being able to think at a level 10 every single day, no days off. So.
Audrey, I'm curious, when the pitcher comes in, you have to trust your stuff. How did you feel like your stuff translated? And also, I was reading up on you when you committed, and they were talking about a pitch that you kind of invented for yourself, or you improved it coming at screwball. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So before I came here, I was really working on mostly spins and just kind of the general. And once I got here, Coach Rocha challenged me more mentally, and she challenged me. There was a practice where I just threw drop ball and change up to every single batter. So, I mean, it's just she challenges us, and it makes us better. But the pitch that I kind of created, I guess, it is a rise change. So I throw it like my rise ball, but just kind of cup a little bit more and change up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Audrey, I don't know if you heard this, but Patty at one point this fall compared you to Kelly Maxwell, and maybe her early in her career she progressed. What did that mean? What does that mean to you? And just how would you describe your approach and your demeanor in the circle?
Yeah, it means a lot because Kelly is influential to many people, especially me. And when I got here, everyone was like, "Oh, you're Kelly. You look just like Kelly. You act just like Kelly. You're literally Kelly." And I actually saw Kelly at a football game, and I was talking to her about it, and she just laughed. She thought it was hilarious. But it's just, I mean, it's a great honor to be here and be in the circle here. And, I mean, it's really challenging, especially this fall, going against these batters, and you have to work hard. You have to go 100%. And when you're on the mound, don't feel, you just throw.
Ori, what is it like seeing all the Californians coming to Oklahoma, not just this class, but years past, seeing a lot of those Californians come to Oklahoma and have success here?
I think it's great because it shows the travel ball circuit and how competitive it is in California, and so that was a blessing to live there and be able to compete against amazing people every weekend, on and off. And then on top of that, I feel like it shows like a sense of community. Like there's a lot of people on the team currently who are from California, and we're all so far away from home, so it's just like we all know and miss home a good amount. So it's just like finding community in that, like we're all from California. So.
We're all great players. What's it been like knowing that you were going to come to school here, or for some of you as long as 2 years, knowing you were going to come to school, or see them just continue to have that success and know that you're coming to school here?
It made me really excited because I was just anticipating the day where I'd be able to step on the field and come and learn like I do every single day here and work with JT and just perfect my hitting to a point where all the other people who came before me, they were just amazing. So I just want to be able to get to that level too. So.
I feel like it just pushes us harder to work better and better every single day. I mean, we're practicing every day with, for example, Ella Parker, Cassidy. So, I mean, we have a lot to look up to, and we just grind every single day.
I'm sorry. It made me really excited just for the opportunity to push myself physically, but also mentally. There's a lot that goes on the mental side of the game, and they really push us here to learn the most we can and to just kind of grasp as much as we can. And I really enjoy learning the game, both the physical side, but especially the mental side, because it's very intriguing for me to learn about that. But yeah, I was just really excited to learn about all their different philosophies, how they go about everything, because of how successful they are and what they do makes them different.
Audrey, you're on a pitching staff with players who have pitched a lot. You know, whether that's Sam or Kirsten or Bella. Just what has the process been like helping or like working, getting into things with them, and maybe how much has that helped you since you've gotten there?
Yeah, I feel like our pitching staff is a team within a team, and we all connect like in such a great level, and we all collaborate with each other. Like there was one day I helped Sam with her drop ball, and she helped me with my drop ball, and we all just collaborate on different things, and it's just been great, especially pitching with Sam, who has pitched at a high level for such a long time, and she just has a lot of knowledge. Same with Kirsten, Bella, and Peyton.
And with so many arms on the team, what has stood out to you about maybe the way Coach Rocha has handled her pitching staffs? Because she likes a deep pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
She throws a lot of pitchers. Just how much does that maybe even help or motivate you in terms of the way she handles things?
Yeah, it definitely pushes me because she has high expectations, and we just work hard in the bullpen every day. We throw every day, and we try and get better every day.
As we zip through this, but for everybody, what do you remember about the first time Coach Gasser reached out, and what stopped then, and then through your recruitment process, what drew you to say, yeah, Oklahoma's the spot to come and continue your career?
For me, my story's a little bit different. I got here and we started talking after I decommitted, and it was very cool because initially I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to meet Coach Gasso. Like, this is such an amazing opportunity. And then I ended up getting offered to come here, and that's an opportunity of a lifetime to be here. And every day is continuing to add on to that opportunity and continuing to add on to that blessing. I'm so thankful that I got to be here and got to, I guess, come along with my sister on her journey to add on to my chapter.
I think it was in 7th grade when I first started getting recruited by Coach Gasso. And I remember the day my dad texted me, and you got invited to a camp, and I was so excited. But, I mean, Oklahoma has always been my dream. It was actually the only visit I went on my junior year, and I just knew as soon as I stepped on campus.
Yeah, I feel like my story is kind of similar to Audrey's. I actually started getting recruited by Coach Gasso sophomore year, so a little bit later. But I also only took one visit, and Audrey was on my visit, so we were together. But, yeah, the second I stepped on campus, I knew, there's nothing better than this. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, like Riley said, and it's just an amazing place to be. So I'm very grateful, and I thank God every day to be here.
You guys were on that visit together. You knew Love Field was being built. Well, what was it like to then actually come here and actually see it?
I would say because our first visit was junior year, and I think they had just started construction, so we saw just like the dirt field and everything. Oh, this is going to be great. And then our senior year unofficial, everyone was here, and we came and saw like the concrete bones. We're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And then we get here, and it's all done. You're like, wow. Like, there's nothing like this. So it was just amazing to see the progression. And every time you come out for a camp, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're making progress. So it was very exciting.
Yeah, when we first went on our visit, I think it was just like an idea of Love's Field. And then we came back, it was being built, and then I'm pretty sure we came back again maybe, and we were here with the 2013 team, like Lauren Chamberlain and all those girls. And it was just, and we actually toured the facility with them. So it was just amazing seeing their perspective on it, because they were like, oh, I wish we had this. And just being so thankful that we're going to have it, it's just so amazing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess just to start, what's been the process like of just getting to campus, getting acclimated, getting adjusted to the team? Just for both of you guys, but Gabby to start, just what's that process been like?
Oh, it's been great. The team is amazing. Making sure that we're just getting involved as freshmen and making sure that we feel at home, and it's a very fun family environment. I know it's honestly, the process has been really simple, really easy. I have felt no issues with getting along with people, getting involved with campus, finding classes, all of that's it's honestly just been great.
Our support staff here is amazing. We have our strength staff, our nutrition staff, we have our coaches, and then our teammates who have already been here. When we came to campus, our teammates texted us and was like, hey, if you need help moving in, then come call me and I'll be there. So I think that from day one, this team has gotten along very well. We mesh very well, even though there's half returners and half new people. I think that this team has really good chemistry.
Tia, you grew up in a family that's incredibly athletic family with your dad and mom and aunts and uncles and sisters and everything. So growing up in that, what has that been like growing up? I mean, the last piece of pie you guys fighting for it, or what's going on in that family? I mean, what's that like being in that family?
Man, well, I would say that it's very competitive in my household, and we do hold each other accountable. I would say that I wasn't very focused when I was little, and my two older sisters were always on me saying, Tia, you need to go get your reps in, you need to do this, you need to do that. Not a lot of people get the privilege of living with professional athletes and 4 All-Americans right across the door. So I think for me, when I started reaching my potential is when I started trusting in my family members, and I started trusting in the things that they were saying to me, and being able to pick their minds just on a random Tuesday night. I didn't have to go and DM somebody and be like, oh, what was the process for this? I think that was a privilege for me, and being able to talk to people that have already reached the heights that I'm trying to get to, it was amazing. So
I always read stuff. They always say you're going to be the best because you're young, whatever. But I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, that's when they say that to you, what does that make you feel like?
My sisters want me to be the best. Like my parents see it as trial and error, and so they want each of us to learn from whoever came before us. So I sat there and I studied Amira when she was at UW, and then I sat there and I studied Kiki when she was at Tennessee. And every single thing they learned at college, they passed down to me. So I feel like that also ties into my transition here. I feel like I was ready to be here. I was ready for the schedule. I was ready for practices and all that. So I think that I think I'm going to have a good career here, and I want my little sister to be better than I ever was.
Gabby, sort of along the same lines to you about your mom, obviously, very well known in softball circles. What was that like growing up with her, and how big of an influence has she been on your path?
Oh, my mom is honestly the person I look up to the most when it comes to softball. It's crazy being young. She asked me at a young age, what do you want out of the game? And I said, well, I want to be one of the best players, right? And from there, she's like, okay, do you understand what it takes? And I was like, I was 8, 9 years old, and I had no idea. And she goes, it's going to take a lot of work. And from there, we set our eyes on a goal and just working as hard as we can. I remember there was many nights of fighting, but eventually you get to that age where we ended up, rather instead of butting heads, working together. And from there, I was just able to put my head down and continue to work and to continue to grind. And then, here I am now, getting the opportunity to play on one of the biggest stages, or the biggest stages, and just wanting to continue to grow here and with this program.
For both of you, what does it mean to have those strong female role models, and how much does Patty Gasso really up the ante when you think of a strong female role model?
For me personally, it's just amazing, right? It makes you want to strive to be that strong female role model for the generation below us. That's how it feels for me, at least. And it just makes you want to continue to be better and to be and to live the best version of yourself.
I would say for me, a non-negotiable in my recruiting process is that I really wanted to have a female head coach. So my two older sisters, they played for female head coaches, and I know that Coach Gasso really preaches she wants to take girls and turn us into women. And I think that even though we've only been here for 3 months, we have definitely learned a lot of lessons that I know I'm going to take in to my life and maybe pass on to my children. So I think that here it's about maturity, and I know that I'm going to grow a lot here.
And as you've gotten here, how's that kind of synced up with Coach Gasso, their career, versus Coach Gasso, now your head coach?
Honestly, like the first time I had a conversation with Coach Gasso, I was super intimidated. I'll be honest. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Coach Gasso. Like, I'm like, gotta say the right thing, gotta act the right way, right? And then honestly, getting here, learning that she has this mother figure over the team and like wants us to become, like she sees us as her children and she wants us to become great young women. And seeing her sense of humor and seeing her motivation for us and seeing how she won't let us stoop under her expectations and rather holding us accountable. It's incredible. It's awesome.
My first impression of Coach Gasso is that she's very straightforward, and that is the type of coaching that I personally strive under. I don't really like passive coaching. I feel like I would just rather you hold me to a high expectation and hold me accountable, and I think that's where I grow best. So I knew that me and Coach Gasso would get along very well because I feel like I'm the same way. I'm pretty straightforward. But yeah, it's been exactly the same since I've gotten here, and same thing, like Coach Gasso's just really been holding us accountable, pushing us hard, but that's what it takes to win.
Yeah, that'd be kind of an off-the-wall question. How did you get involved in sign language? I know
So when I was going into my freshman year, we obviously had to choose a language. And I'll be honest, at the time, like, I heard Spanish was really difficult, but American Sign Language always just seemed very unique and different. And I was like, okay. And I was just very curious, right? And so I jumped into the water with that. And from there, I just actually really ended up falling in love with the language itself and the community behind it. I think it's fascinating, the history behind American Sign Language, just all the truth, and it's just crazy. And from there, I love it. I think it's so much fun, and I think it's amazing to bring it and to continue to share the language with the world. So.
And also, how'd you get involved in throwing javelin? How does that translate into softball?
So I started throwing javelin my freshman year of high school. My weight coach at the time for softball was the javelin coach, and we were lifting like on an off day, and he's like, hey, do you want to throw the javelin? And I sat there and I was like, yeah, it's a big long spear, who wouldn't want to throw the javelin? So I was like, yeah. And so I picked it up, I threw it, I didn't hit myself in the back of the head, which is an accomplishment in itself. And he was like, wow, you're actually not bad, you should try it. And so then season rolls around, and at that time I was managing both javelin and softball, and by the end of the season I actually was throwing really unexpected, really big numbers. And then from there I just kind of continued on. So, yeah, kind of fun.
For both of you, what's it been like getting to work with TRA Jennings this fall?
Do you want to
Yeah.
go?
I know in my recruiting process that Coach Gasso compared me and TRA's play a lot. She would always say, like, you guys are kind of similar names. At the time, we were the same position. I played middle infield. We're kind of built the same and stuff like that. So I was really excited to work with TRA, especially because of her career here. I knew that she had a lot of knowledge. I think that it's been cool to watch her step into kind of a coaching role. And I think that it was easy for her because she was such a good leader in the past years as a player. And so now she's developed into more of a coaching role. And just seeing her work with, like, the middle infielders and stuff, I can always see her holding the middle infielders accountable and then just giving them advice that is picked up the next play. Like, Gabby and all of our middle infielders are very coachable. And seeing them get to work with TRA is pretty special because we have one of the best infielders in the nation as our coach. So it's being passed on, and this is how, like, our next team is going to be great because we have generations teaching the next generation.
I mean, like Tia said, she was a leader coming off and now coming into that role of being a coach here. And I know personally for me, like, I see her as a big sister, right? Someone I can go to when I'm kind of confused or when things start moving a little fast or when when Coach says one thing and you're like, what does that mean? And I know I can go to her and she'll explain it to me and break it down. I mean, it's phenomenal. She's a great person. I I know she used to play for my old club team, so I used to see her a little bit here and there, and still to come here and continue to learn from her, it's awesome. She's a great person.
For you both, since committing and signing, what's it been like to see the past teams continue to roll like they have? And then now that you're here, how do you flip it and balance managing those expectations when you have so many new pieces that weren't there last year to kind of roll through this year?
I think the older girls on the team last year who graduated did a really good job in passing on expectations and transitions to the returners this year, and now it's their job to teach us freshmen. Even before we started practicing, they were telling us things that we needed to get done, what is expected of us. So I think it's been a pretty easy transition in that sense. I think that there are people on this team that knew they were going to have to take on leadership roles, especially with 10 seniors leaving last year. So we have Cassidy, we have Ella, and they knew that was expected of them. So they have really grown as people in that way because, Ella is a little introverted, but she's a fierce leader. Like, she knows what it takes. She knows that she had to step into that role for the better of this team. So we've just had really good returners just teaching everybody the way.
I mean, yeah, we're new, and that's the best part about it because it's fun, it's exciting. Coach keeps telling us we're fast, we're scrappy, and I honestly look forward to it giving, I know, the fans a different look on a different kind of team. And for me personally, that's what's so fun about it, right? Giving us the opportunity to continue their legacy in a little different of a way, but at the same time taking the values that they left behind and now that the returners are trying to continue to instill in us.
That's all we have time for. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I guess just overall, since you guys have been on campus, you've gone through a fall. Just what's the process been like getting adjusted to everything and being on the team?
Yeah, so I think going into the fall, it's been a pretty easy transition. We have some really great leaders on the team, and they just have really been there to help us through this fall, like learning time management and classes and practice, and they've just really been a good help for us.
It's definitely been different. I will say that. College is different, but it's been fun. It's a cool experience. We have a lot of people behind our backs that's supporting us no matter what we do, and getting us through this, it's a lot of help, and I'm proud of it.
And sort of along those lines, what does it mean to the both of y'all to be here, to be part of this program, being from Oklahoma?
I mean, it's been a dream of mine since I was tiny to come here and play softball, so it's just dreams turning into reality for me, and I just couldn't be more blessed than getting this opportunity to even come out here and play.
Yeah, honestly, picking up off of that, it really has always been my dream to play at OU, and I know it's been really special for my family as well because we've always been Sooner fans and big fans of Coach Gasso and the rest of the coaching staff. It's just really a blessing to be here.
A lot of softball players around here grow up wanting that. What was it like to actually, when it started to become reality that Coach Gasso was coming around, Coach Gasso is recruiting you, this is going to be an off? What was that process like? Is it kind of built for both of you?
It's kind of mind-blowing for me, really. I was like, is this really happening? It was kind of insane, but I mean, I just knew from the start this is where I really wanted to play, and I just continued to work towards that and stuff, and then realizing that she was actually looking at me just kind of made me work even more harder because this is just everything that I really wanted, and it happened, so I'm here.
Yeah, it just really just didn't feel real. I just was always have dreamed of it, and I've always believed in myself, that I can play at a really high level, and once Coach Gasso started recruiting me, I just was really wow, this is happening. I'm really making this happen, and it just was a great experience, and I'm just so thankful every day to be here.
For both of y'all, when did you first start thinking about this in real terms, that this was a reachable goal to play at a place like Oklahoma?
I've always just had very high expectations of myself, and I know my family has too, and they've pushed me to be where I am today. And once we started going through the recruiting process and more schools started, finding more interest in me, and then once Coach Gasso started showing her interest in me, I was really just taken back of more of the opportunity side, never get ahead of myself or anything, but this is just such a blessing. I would never
make it crazy. I'm just so thankful. Like, that's just all I think about every day is how blessed I am to be here.
For me, it was probably a little different. I was probably about 13, 14 years old when, like, me and my dad and my mom kind of realized, like, hey, I felt a little bit more experience, kind of played a little bit more experience than everyone I was playing with. And then that was when we realized, hey, she might be something. So I actually didn't even play 16U travel ball. Like, I straight up went from 14 to 18U. So I was 14 playing with 18, 19-year-olds. And that was probably one of the best things I could have done because that just made me even more experienced. And I learned so many things playing with such older girls from my age. And that's just kind of how mine went, but I wouldn't change it.
Kenny, your dad told me that you had a countdown to when you first got here. What went into that? And are you excited, really? Is it all you dreamed of being here in this program?
It is. Like you said, I had a countdown on my phone and everything ready to get up here. I mean, it's not too far from home, but I couldn't wait to get up here. It's just been a dream of mine since I was tiny. I always watched them World Series games on the TV when I was a little girl, and so it's just always been a dream, and I just couldn't wait to get up here.
Go ahead.
I know it's a little different, but you played at Caddo and had a lot of pressure in that program for as much winning as you all did. Did you kind of bring that type of mindset to this program? Or are you able to help out some of the other younger players who maybe didn't have as much success in high school as you did?
I mean, I think it just all goes back to the hard work that you put in, really. I mean, coming from Caddo, we won a lot. We know how to win. But, I feel like I can just carry that over to here to just know what it takes to win. I know it's totally different, but that mindset, I feel like, is everything that you need. And I just hope that I can just be a good teammate and just help out whenever I can and just try to find a way to just go win another one for them.
I know both of you faced great pitching in travel ball, and you guys played on great teams. But has there been an adjustment now that you're at OU facing these pitchers and the kind of pitchers you've seen so far in college?
Yeah, so it's most definitely an adjustment for sure, like going from travel ball to now the highest level you can see. I mean, we have a great pitching staff, as you can see, and just really challenging ourselves to face the best is like what's pushed us to be here.
I mean, we are, like she said, we're facing the best. I mean, they're here for a reason. So I think it's just kind of like a mindset thing, knowing that, hey, yeah, they're the best, but we're also the best too because we're here. So I think it's just one of those things where you just got to get in there and just get it done.
You both are in a new program that's won 4 straight titles. The bar's been set real high with high expectations. How do you guys embrace that role, knowing the bar's high and you guys are going to get everyone's best shot every time you take the field this spring?
Yeah, I mean, we're a new team, and I definitely love every single person that's on our team. I think we all bring great aspects to this program, and it's definitely going to be a new look than what's been in the past, but I just have so much respect for all of our girls, and we're just going to go out there and do our thing, show who we are, do our own thing, set a new bar.
Like she said, we're a brand new team, and being a freshman, it's kind of just like normal, I guess you could say, for me. I mean, yeah, it's a new team, it's new for me, but just the faith I think we have between each other, and not like really looking back saying, oh, they've done this, they've done that. I think it's time to show them what we can do, no matter what the outcome. I mean, if we win one, we win another one. It's God's plan. So.
Katie, being from Caddo, what's it like for everyone back home? I mean, how excited is everyone back home for you?
Oh gosh, it's crazy. I'll tell you, every time we had a fall ball game, I couldn't tell you how many people came and watched. It was kind of funny. Before we even started, Coach Gasso told me, she was like, your whole town's going to be over here watching you every chance they get. And I was like, they sure are. So, yeah, it's just trying to make them proud for sure.
Same question, Janie, Kawita?
Yeah, so honestly, every time I go home, it just makes me even more thankful to be from here in Oklahoma in a small town, because everyone just is always like, oh my goodness, like, how's softball going? Like, I'm so proud of you. And it's just the support system is absolutely amazing, and it just makes me even more thankful to be here.
When you've got so many new pieces on this team, Coach Gasso has talked for years about embracing who you are unapologetically like you. How does that ease the transition of not having to embrace the pressure of what has happened in the past to kind of be yourselves and be able to just clear that out?
Yeah, I feel like we just need to focus on really just playing a game. It's just a game. I feel like we don't need to worry about the past and just focus on the now, really, and just realize that our team is good. We're good. We're here for a reason, and we have the pieces and everything. So I'm just excited to get going, and I just know that no matter what happens at the end of the day, we're still going to be a team. We're still going to be good, and we still got each other's backs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely say, obviously what has happened in the past has been absolutely amazing, never done before, but we are more focused on our team and what we have coming before us in our future, and we're just focused on us. Yeah, they've set a real high bar, but we know that we got what it takes.
Katie, among all the, well, let me ask you a two-part question. Among the veterans, who's the loudest in the locker room? And among all the newcomers, who's the loudest in the locker room?
Loudest in the locker room, I would have to say Abby Dayton. She brings it every day. She's got energy, but she picks us up, and we get going after it because of her, and I love that about her.
Same question, Katie.
Have to be either Abby or Nellie. Them two. They bring the energy every day, and it just makes me more excited to come to practice. So.
What's fall with Coach JT like?
Fun. Yeah. He's a fun guy. I love him. No, he really expects a lot out of you, and I think that just pushes us even more and more every day in the cages and stuff. And so I'm really thankful for having him by our side, especially on the hitting part of the side.
Mm-hmm. He knows what we're capable of, and he sets the expectations really high, and he pushes us every single day, but he makes it fun, and it's just great to play for a coach that believes in you.
Well, how big has that adjustment been, working with his style and the approach that he takes to teaching hitting and getting really deep into it?
So before I came here, I didn't really have like a hitting coach. It was just kind of me and my dad putting in work every single day, but coming from that to somebody who is very high level and puts a lot of time into this, it's been really cool to get to see just learn so many new things and how to apply it to my game, and it's just been really eye-opening.
Yeah, he has, the information that he gathers for us is insane. Like, I never would have thought of some of the stuff that he shows us and everything like that, but his IQ is very high for hitting, very high, but yeah, no, just the way he does things, I really, really like.
There's obviously a lot of faith in Coach JT. What's the weirdest thing that he's rolled out for you guys that you're just like, I don't know what's happening here, but we're just going to go with it?
I'd say putting math into softball.
Yes.
And hitting. I would never think of that, but there's a lot of scientific, mathematical stuff that goes behind hitting, and it's just really cool to see. I just never would have thought of anything like that before.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology that he uses, and it's very different for me because, like she said, I never had a hitting coach or anything like that. But it's very different, but it's really interesting, though, to see how everything works the way he does it. So.
When you say math, what do you mean, I guess, specific? Like, what does that actually look like, I guess?
There's just a lot of
numbers.
Yeah, a lot of numbers, a lot of studying we have to do in hitting. I think that, like, before I came here, I just would watch game film of, like, previous stuff of my at-bats, and then now that I get here, there's just a lot of studying we have to do with hitting. I think it helps us a lot. So
Are you looking at a lot of pitchers? Or are you looking more at yourself?
More at ourselves, breaking things down and just really getting deep into the swing and breaking stuff down like that.
Well, and you guys talk about how much information there is and how much you break stuff down, but what is that process like for maybe all the information you guys get, but him being able to make it where you can process it, where it makes it easy to kind of adjust it and add it to your game? What is that process like?
I think it's a little difficult at first. I know for a fact it was kind of difficult for me to just try to, like, understand his understanding of it, but I think it's just getting better and better, though, personally. And he really does explain things very well and how he coaches and everything like that. Just his process of everything is just really smooth, and I'm just grateful that he can be there to explain it for me.
Yeah, he just breaks everything down to a better understanding. If you don't understand something, ask questions. He'll go into even further detail for you, just making it to the smallest thing just so you can understand it and pick it up and be successful.
That's all we have time for. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.